Welcome back. I've finally got around to make a new video, and this time I'm going to teach you about the unspoken heroes in Smite, the supports. So what is a support? The support's job is basically getting your team ahead as much as possible without taking XP and gold from other teammates. A support is basically like a protective parent. Make your teammates' lives as easy as possible. Some usual support tasks include saving your teammates, setting up kills, tanking plus securing objectives, and warding. There are a few different ways to save your teammates. It can be everything from getting enemies off your friends, peeling, to standing in the way for the incoming shots, body blocking. Setting up kills usually means that you hold the enemies in place long enough for your team to come kill them. This is easier the more crowd control your god has and the lower health the enemy has. Tanking and securing objectives means taking the hits from the objective and executing it when it reaches the threshold. This is an important part of the support's task, because if you don't execute it, the enemy team supports can come and steal it. I'm gonna talk about that later in the video. And just as the other roles, the support has to buy wards and put them in key positions to make sure you don't get surprised by the enemy. So what gods works as support? To set up kills and save teammates, you need crowd control, and to tank objectives you need to be a stat, tanky. Therefore the Guardian class is the dominant one in the support role. There are some other gods that work as well, some warriors and a few assassins, but start out with guardians when you are new. 3 guardians I recommend starting with is Ymir, Athena and Geb. They all have good crowd control and unique and fun abilities with very different playstyles. As per usual, I'm going to show you a game where I play support and talk you through the thought process behind what I'm doing and why. As a support, there's a few different ways you can start the game when it comes to items, but you always need a starter item and Hand of the Gods tier 1. If you're a guardian, the 2 items you can start with is either Mark of the Vanguard or Watcher's Gift. It can be hard to decide which one of these to get, but as Incon once said, only get Watchers if you can get away with it. So when you are new to support, I recommend getting Mark of the Vanguard every time until you know the matchups better. When you have bought the starter item and Hog tier 1, you will have 400 gold left. If you are fast out of the base, you can start with 2 wards and put them on the enemy side of the map, but that usually doesn't pay off. So I recommend getting 4 health potions and 4 mana potions. As a support, you always start at the damage buff, together with the mid and the ADC. When you're done with the red buff, you head over to the purple with your ADC, and hog it and then go to lane. Remember to not use Hand of the Gods on the red buff, because you are 3 people there, and it is more efficient to use it on the purple. Your focus when getting into lane, just as the other roles, is to kill the minions. Try to, as much as possible, give your last hits to your ADC, which means you let them deal the finishing blow to a minion. This will give your carry more gold, which is what you want to accomplish as a support. When you're getting ganked, your top priority should be keeping your carry safe. If your carry gets behind, your team is gonna lack damage late game. Try to keep your cool in stressful situations. It's important to have situational and map awareness. If you have seen my jungle guide, this thought process will be familiar. When you've made sure your carry is safe, you can make one of 2 decisions: retreat or reinitiate. First of all, I know no one is level 5. I heard Aokwang initiating with this escape. Honor is low, but I have my entire kit up. But so does Hu Yi and Guan Yu. The only possible rotation is from our Thanatos, but he's so far away it's gonna take him quite a while to get here. Because I have a need for greed, I decide to reinitiate. Usually you want to give the kills to the carry, but because I know his Impale is down and is not in a position to get the kill, it's better if I get it than if no one gets it. After the kill, the enemy decides to reinitiate on my honor. When your carry is being aggressed on, your first priority should be saving him. Try to be as annoying as possible to get the enemies to turn their attention to you. I put the wall up in their faces, but not only that, I'll start smacking them with a hammer. Even though my hammer does almost no damage, they get frustrated and turn their attention to me. Once I make sure my carry is gonna get out safely, it's time to start thinking of my own escape. I try to use the minions as meat shields, and position myself so I can freeze both when it comes off cooldown. This fight took so long that Thanatos was able to arrive and clean up. As a support, after the starter item, there's 2 things you want to get first, and that is shoes and Hog 3. You need Hog 3 to be able to contest early gold furies, and you need boots to get around the map faster. These are the 4 different shoes you can get as a guardian, and they all have different advantages. For instance, the traveler shoes makes you faster out of combat and gives you extra gold for every god you hit. The reinforced shoes makes you tankier and reduces crowd control. Shoes of Focus reduces your cooldown, and Shoes of the Magi increases your damage. Out of all these, Traveler Shoes are the most common pickup, because of the extra gold. After that, it's Shoes of the Focus if you're going for a team comp that wants to fight early, especially at mid camps. Reinforced shoes are rarely picked up, but when they are, it's because the support wants to be extra tanky, usually when they are ahead. Shoes of the Magi is almost never picked up on Guardians, with the exception of Bacchus. There are a few players who favors the Shoes of the Magi on Bacchus, only because they want to increase his burst with his knock-up and ult combo. And, as always, get as many wards as you can. Your 3 most important spots to ward when you are support are at the 2 attack speed buffs and a sentry at the Gold Fury. The 2 light blue circles here represent where you can place a ward at the attack speed buffs to protect your carry from getting ganked. The purple area is where you should put your sentry ward. You want a sentry ward at gold because you want to prevent the enemy team from having vision and make sure that you have vision on the Gold Fury at all times. If you ever have a spare ward, you should put them on the dark blue spots. This is both to help your team fight at mid camps and to help your mid to not get ganked as much. Always remember that just because you are support doesn't mean you're useless. You always need to keep an eye open for opportunities. A small thing such as a 1.5 second stun can make the world of a difference in teamfights. Later in the game, when you have Hog 3, make sure to always look for opportunities to get the Gold Fury. For instance, here we can see that the enemy mid laner is dead. Even though she's gonna spawn very soon, she's gonna be at base and it's gonna take her a while to get to the Gold Fury. And we see that Guan Yu is using his ultimate, which is his only initiation. Because of this, we decided to do the Gold Fury. As a support, when you're attacking the Gold Fury, you need to keep an eye open for enemies. If there is a chance that the Gold Fury might be stolen, think twice about doing Gold Fury. You don't want to give it away for free. Start up the Gold Fury by attacking it, and then keep one eye on the health bar and the other one looking for enemies. When you have handled the Gods 3, you can execute the Gold Fury and Fire Giant when it reaches 25% health. This is shown in the health bar at the top of the screen, when the health bar turns yellow. A way to predict when it's going to turn yellow is to look at the barred health bar above the Gold Fury's head. Each bar represents 10% health, so when there's 2.5 bars left, it's going to be executable. I hear that the only enemy nearby is Hu Yi, so there's no real danger of the Gold Fury getting stolen. So I keep tanking it until it reaches threshold and then I execute it with Hand of the Gods. By this point, Isis could have rotated over and I hear that Guan Yu is back, so I decide to call retreat. Later in the game, the enemy team decides to start a Gold Fury, and I attempt to steal it. When trying to steal a Gold Fury, it's very important to not get in too early. The best thing with blinking in when it's 26% health, use your crowd control ability, in this case my freeze, to stop the enemy support from securing it, and then securing it myself. A thing to keep in mind, both when trying to steal an objective and defending it, you can only use blink when you have been out of combat for 3 seconds. This Hu Yi here is going up to me, trying to get some damage onto me to prevent me from using my blink. Once you get to the Gold Fury, remember that it's first come, first serve. The priority now should be beating the enemy support to hog in the Gold Fury. The first one to hog will get the Gold Fury. Another very important thing for the support to do is to rotate for mid camps. If you were to stay in duo lane all game, your carry would be behind. And your jungler mid needs your help at mid camps. The first mid camp spawn at 3 minutes, so you want to start rotating at about 2 minutes and 40 seconds. After that, just watch the timers on the map. Remember that the mids furthest away from your lane is also up for grabs. To finish this out, I want to talk about the builds. After you're done with the Hog 3 and boots, you start building the Sovereignty. This is a physical protection item that also gives magical protections to your allies. When you're done with that, you get the Heart Ward Amulet, which is basically the same as Sov, except reversed. After that it comes to preference, but some commonly picked up items are Winged Blade, Spirit Robe, and Magi's Blessing. That's all I have to say about the support role. If you found this video helpful, please like it and share it with others who might need it. If you have any questions, you can ask me in the comments, add me in-game, or come visit my stream. I'm hopefully gonna start streaming regularly, and you can always come there and ask me any SMITE related questions. Thank you for watching and have a tremendous day.